Vicky, also known as Dragonfly7673. Today is Friday, January 29th, and it is 10 to 5. Okay, I am in a weird setup here. I'm actually visiting Mom and my son, except for neither one of them is home right now, and I thought maybe I should record a little bit because it seems like lately something is always coming up. So this week I had intended to record on Tuesday, and then it turned out that my car needed to go into the shop. It was due for an oil change, but it wasn't critical yet, and so I had been thinking I would do it after this visit. But then Monday, best friend noticed that one of my headlights was out, and that I didn't want to be without a headlight when it is still winter in Wisconsin and it is mostly dark outside. So I decided to see if I could get it into the shop, and I could on Tuesday. I wanted to do that before I drove here because I didn't know kind of what the plans were going to be when I was here, and so I took it to the shop on Tuesday, and it actually needed a couple other things that it was due for, and it took longer than I was expecting, and I was just exhausted by the end of the night. I got home, I was there actually almost 2 hours, and then so I got home, it was about 7:30, and I ate dinner, and then I didn't want to knit. I didn't want to do anything. In fact, I was also freezing. I think I was starting to get a cold, and then it was not bad, but I ended up actually going to bed early that night, I think. Sort of. I intended to, and then remembered that I needed to pack and some other stuff. So anyway, so I didn't record. And Wednesday, I was driving here, and I also stopped at the store where my mom works because my son was with her because they were going to go grocery shopping, and he had texted me and let me know that if I wanted to stop by, he and I could go get Taco Bell. I went, okay, so we went and got Taco Bell for all three of us. And so I didn't get here until fairly late. Well, late-ish, later than I was going to record. And anyway, today he's got prep for a show choir thing. His school is actually hosting the invitational this week, and so they're doing prep, and Mom is working. So I was like, okay, well, I could take the time and record a little bit, but I don't have a ton to show you. So I'm sorry, my hair is tickling my face, and the camera is over on the side. I have it positioned differently because of the fact that I don't have my regular setup and I couldn't see anything. I did it so it's a front-facing camera, except for the camera's on the side. So if I can look at the camera or I can look at the screen. If I look at the screen, then for you guys, I look like I'm totally looking away from you. So I'm trying to look at the camera, except for I'm distracted by my own motions. The biggest thing I worked on this past weekend was the pumpkin passport. That's the stitchery I'm doing from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's the 2016 cross stitch along, and I actually basically finished January. January has the January picture plus the borders, and I had told you I was a little concerned because, you know, there's a picture just like there are the other months plus the borders. Well, I decided it wasn't super important if I finish the borders. I can do them as I'm going through the year. So, but I did finish the January picture and a little bit of border above her. And I was going to start the lettering, but I didn't want to bring it here. So Monday is February 1st. So at 7 o'clock my time will be when the next piece of pattern is released. It releases at 5 p.m. Pacific. I don't know why that time, but that means it's 7 o'clock at night. So I have no idea. It's all travel based, but let me pause and post a picture of what I did because I do have pictures. So I totally hit the wrong button. Instead of hitting I'm used to hitting the volume button to start and stop, and like I said, I normally can't see myself. So instead of pushing the video record button, I actually pushed the power button, which did in fact stop the recording, but wasn't the button I meant to, and you got like big hands across the camera. Oh well, it's a one-time thing. So I really like how that came out. I really got into it the more I was doing it. It does mean I'm a little behind on my shawl, but that's also because there's just been a lot of stuff going on in the evenings, and so I'm going to work on it some more tonight. But I am partway through clue 4, and clue 5 came out this morning. So I don't have a new picture, but usually what I've been doing is I've been taking pictures when I finish a clue, and the last clue I finished was 3, which you saw. So maybe you didn't see it. Now I don't remember from when I recorded. Clue 3, I actually got a better picture because it was because I was able to take it outside in real light instead of in the evening in the dark in the house. I will post a picture anyway. In fact, I will do that now, and this time I'm going to push the right button. Okay, so I'm partway through clue 4. It has 20 rows, and I think I'm on row 8, maybe? I don't actually know. Actually, the rows, they're getting longer, so of course they take longer, but when they do these shawls, each clue you have less rows to accommodate the fact, so you end up doing approximately the same amount of stitches per clue, which I like. So like this, the one I'm working on is 20 rows. The next one is that just got released this morning is 14. So but even though I don't have all the pattern memorized, because if you look at it, the center has all been the same. That I basically got memorized. But the sides are where there's difference in pattern, each clue. And just about the time I feel like I'm starting to get the side memorized, it's a new clue. So I just have the pattern with me. I have it on the iPad, and I've been doing a lot of watching. I've been watching a lot of Stargate lately. So Stargate SG-1, the first one. I am on season 6. Anyway, so I've been doing a lot of that because I can have Knit Companion open and the Amazon video. And most of the time, I actually just need to look at the Knit Companion just enough to remember how this row works. And then I can make the video full screen again. But that's actually been kind of nice. And actually, I did that the whole time I was working on the cross stitch. I just kept the picture in picture so that I could see the cross stitch pattern. My eyes have really gotten to the point where I have trouble adjusting up and down, and my distance vision is getting really crappy without my glasses. My up close vision is awesome. My distance vision is starting to, it's not so good. And it's actually the astigmatism that's a problem. So watching TV and working on a pattern actually doesn't work very well for me. I can watch TV and do something very simple where I don't need to actually concentrate on what's in my hands. Then I keep my glasses on for the TV. But I can't go back and forth looking at a pattern and something delicate, especially like cross stitch, and then look at the TV, or even doing this. It does not work. So having the picture in picture on the iPad is way more useful than I ever imagined it was going to be. And those are the only 2 things I worked on. So, oh, I did watch a show on Amazon that I was going to tell you guys about. It's free on Prime. It's a Amazon original. It's really meant for kids. I would say probably ages 8 to 15 is probably where it's meant for, but it's called Just Add Magic. And apparently it's based on a book. And there's a girl, and she finds this magical cookbook of her grandmother's. And it turns out that the recipes, of course, are magical. And there's always a price to pay of some sort for the magic. But it's her and her 2 best friends, and they're just really likable characters. I had decided to watch it because I wanted to just have something kind of mindless. And I was like, yeah, I'll see how it goes. I ended up watching the entire season. There's only one season. Although they set it up for a second one. So I watched the entire season in one day. Now the shows are about half an hour. Because they're meant for Amazon, they don't have, it's not like regular shows where they're half an hour on TV and 20 minutes on Amazon or Netflix. These actually were about half an hour, I want to say. But it was a really cute show and smartly written, well acted. The kids were good actors, and it was just fun. You know, they find out there's something wrong with her grandmother, and they want to figure that out. And then they find out that her grandmother's had found, and her two best friends had found the cookbook when they were about the same age. And so it kind of goes into all that, and it was I just liked it. So, and then I went back to Stargate. So, I think that's all. This weekend, like I said, my son's school has they're hosting the show choir invitational. Oh, that was what I did last Saturday. Last Saturday was a little different because his show choir was at Milton, Wisconsin, and they have a really good media program at their school. So they actually stream the whole event live. So Tiff was in Virginia, I was in Milwaukee, Mom was here, and we were all watching the event. And doing our thing. And so actually I had that playing on the computer, and then I had my pattern on the iPad. It got a little clunky because I had everything all around me, and periodically in between sets, one group was cleaning up and the next group was coming. So you could mute it at that point and I'd watch a little bit of a video until I saw that they came back. So, but it was cool. And, this weekend is the one at his school, and best friend and I are helping. We're volunteering, and then we'll get to see him live because I haven't seen him perform yet live, so it won't be till late. He's if you're the hosting school, you don't compete, you just perform. I forget what they call it, but anyway, you just do a performance. You're not part of the competition. But the girls group goes on in between the morning and the evening finalists, and then his group goes on at the end of the night, right before the final awards. So basically also what happens is while the hosting school is performing, that's when the judges are doing the final tallies. So you have all these morning performances, and then another group, like the girls group or a middle school group or something like that, will perform, and the judges are actually tallying up and seeing who's going to go to finals and who's best soloist and all that kind of stuff. And then usually 4 to 6 schools, depending on the number, go to finals. And so after those ones perform again, then at the end of that, while the host school performs, the judges are actually deciding who wins for the night and runner-up and all that. It's all based on a point system. So we thought that my son's school should have gotten second place last week, and they actually got third, and I was telling him this, and he actually went through and was explaining to me why they didn't score higher and where they had messed up and different things, which it was cool because he wasn't upset about it. He was totally just explaining, what they needed to work on and everything, which is a very good attitude to have. The show choir is different because every time you go to a show choir performance, every school cheers for every other school. And I mean, if a school does a cool dance move, you hear all the kids all over just, yeah, woo! I mean, it's so different from any other competition. So, and this year they're going to nationals. So best friend Tiff and myself are all going to join them in Nashville for the national competition. So, which is cool because it's his senior year and he's doing good. So really, and he's happy, and I'm really proud of him. We had his final, I'm babbling, I'm sorry, but we had his final IEP meeting today to really go through everything that's happened to him since he came here, in middle school and his improvements and what he still needs to work on, because of course there's things, we all have stuff we need to improve on. But everybody talked about how much he's improved and how much his confidence has gone up and how he's willing to ask people for help and work through things and stuff like that. It was a really good meeting today, so that was all good. All right, done with that. I do have something to tell you. I had told you that Kaner, who I believe her real name is Roz, and now I'm going to look at something real quick. I have my computer over here. I don't normally. It's a whole different world. There's two screens on my computer when you want to unlock. And the first one just says, "Is this you?" And then you hit the button saying yes, and then it goes to the actual password, and invariably I forget and I start typing in my password and it does nothing on that first screen. All right. I had told you that Kaner was going to sponsor a prize for us. Now we're still working on the actual prize, but her shop is passionflower.etsy.com, and I'll make sure and post that in the show notes. And thank you for understanding last week when there's no show notes. There won't be any this week either. I'm sorry, it's been really hectic. So and yes, her name is Roz. And her Etsy shop is passionflower.etsy.com. She is giving a 15% discount to viewers through the end of March with the code word Dragonfly. Very easy. So she is also going to be, now that her January has settled, she is going to be dyeing up some more things for the shop as well, so keep an eye on it. And we are going to be doing a giveaway where she's going to be giving away the winner's choice of 100 grams skein of sock or DK weight from her store, but I will have more details about that in the near future. So, yeah, so passionflower.etsy.com. Gorgeous stuff from when I last looked. I was going to look today because it's the last time I looked, it was really pretty. Yeah. Ooh, there's one that I really like. I don't know if I can show you this. There's this one and this one are both versions of Gumball Machine, but on totally different yarns. Gumball Machine's colorway. And I think they're gorgeous. And I believe that is what I'm going to be using my discount for. And I will do that before I post this so you guys can't steal it. Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls periodically talk about that they have to be careful if they really want something to make sure they order it before they post their recording, because they're so popular that they get a run on a shop and they'll never get to it again. But so anyway, I will talk to you guys all next week. Remember, passionflower.etsy.com. Dragonfly is the word to get you 15% off. And I think that's all. I am going to try to record next week, but again, I didn't want to chance that Tuesday was going to be another wonkadoo day. So I figured I'd just take this chance and record now. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye.